There are key components and key ingredients in the recipe of a student mentality. Number one, you need to be disciplined. The future is very expensive, and only those who are carriers of discipline can inherit the future. I need you to stay motivated. I don't care if you have to listen to me 1,000 times. I need you to stay motivated. And I need that motivation to mature into discipline. I need you to be self-aware. So I need you to remember that you are always learning. In life, you are always learning. And I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to see yourself capable, lovable, and unconditionally worthy of your future.
What I do with my 24 hours will determine whether I succeed or fail. Those that perform in the top 1%, when they don't feel like studying, they do it anyway. And that's what I started to do. And that's what you need to do. You study hard, even when no one is watching. No one needs to understand how many hours you're studying. No one needs to know how early you wake up in the morning, because that's the quietest time in the day with the least distractions.
Nothing changes and nothing changes, man. You know, we'll sit around forever wondering, well, would I be able to do it? You don't know until you say, yeah, I'm gonna take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. And I'm not preaching at you. I just want to remind you, because I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change and not being able to make them change and not thinking I could. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier sometimes. That in order for something to change, there needs to be change.
What I've learned is to always keep going. Always. You know, there's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent, because eventually that storm passes.
I think part of learning is dying. I think part of learning is you got to die a little bit. Because what is learning? Learning is me giving up on my old shit, my old ideas. Those ideas have to die for me to be open to some new shit. And so me learning how to be a better man, I had to die a little bit.
So I don't know about your background, because the last school I went to, let me just ask you here, I just want to know, all right, just by a show of hands, okay? If your father's not in your life, or your parents have gone through divorce, and there's issues at home, or your father's not in your life, and you come from somewhat of a broken home, can you just raise your hand real quick? That's a problem. But you know what, though? Don't be discouraged. I'm going to tell you why I say don't be discouraged. I heard about this young girl named Simone Biles. Yeah. And I found out about Simone Biles. Not only is she flipping and tumbling and doing all these amazing things, I'm thinking like, man, her mom and dad must have had her training when she was like 3 or 4. And they was like, actually, no, her mom and dad's not in her life. Oh yeah, prison, drug addiction. Yep, she was adopted. Her grandparents stepped in and said, okay, we'll take you under our wings. And they nurtured her and they grew her. And now she got gold all around her neck. But I'm thinking like, this is weird though. Like, she didn't come from a family of gymnasts. She came from a family of drug and alcohol abuse, like people who are struggling, like prison, like how do you come from that, but you winning gold medals representing your country? Because she was willing to put the work in. That's the problem with our country today. We got a bunch of people that's either out for greed, me, or we're just here being average. You were not born to be average. There ain't nothing special about her. She's human. She put the work in. When everybody went to the prom, she said, no, thank you. I promise you. I saw the interview. How was your prom? Oh, I heard it was nice. They say, what do you mean you heard it was nice? She was like, yeah, my friends went and I saw the pictures on IG. I was so excited for her. They said Simone Biles, like, you're like a celebrity. Like, everybody at the school knows you. Like, you didn't go to the prom? She was like, oh, no, I was training. They said, huh? She said, yeah, I was training. The prom is really cool. I might go next year, but I'm focused on the Olympics right now. And watch this. All those people that was at the prom, that was getting, you know what I'm saying? Everything they out there doing. Watch this. A few weeks ago, they was watching her on TV. Are you willing to put in the work to go to that next level? That's one thing I can say about our country. You can make it here. Some people, really, believe it or not, some people, because of their situation, because of their upbringing, because of their environment, some people will have a harder time. Let's just be clear. Some of you grew up in households where things will be a little bit easier for you. Some of you come from backgrounds where things will be a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's what makes us who we are. That's what makes the great great. Don't nobody just all of a sudden just blow up and get to that next level. You deal with adversity and you keep pushing. You see, I saw that the guy that owns WhatsApp, that just sold WhatsApp to Facebook a few years ago for $19 billion. That's a lot of money. Did you know that several years before he went to Facebook, and Facebook was like, yeah, no, thank you. My man went to Facebook trying to get a job. I'm like, yo, let me tell you about this joint called WhatsApp. They was like, nah, we good. WhatsApp, what's that? That's what they said to him. And he walked out of there like, man, that hurt. But like David said, that wasn't no failure. He was like, all right, well, I guess I got to just do it myself. And then years later, Facebook went to him, hey, man, come let's talk. Let's talk. I can imagine them on the golf course at a country club and you know, in the office, sitting down with that big old shiny oak table with all their attorneys, and they finally sold it for $19 billion. Why? Because he said, I got a dream. But people don't buy dreams. People buy realities. So he said, what I'm going to do now, since don't nobody believe in my dream, I'm going to pursue it. I'm going to press on. I'm going to grind. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put in the sacrifice because I know that I've been given this dream, this vision. I'm going to do what I can to make this thing come into fruition. And when it does, people buy reality. So if somebody don't believe in you, don't be discouraged. I can only imagine when Simone Biles was going to gym practice and, you know what I'm saying, and she walked into the gym and people are flipping and they're there with their moms and dads. I'm sure she felt bad, like, man, my mom and dad aren't here. And they're looking like, are those your parents? She's like, no, they're my grandparents. Well, where are your parents? And I'm sure she had these conversations. And she was like, you know what? I'm not going to let my condition be my conclusion. I'm not going to let that be my story. Here's the reality. She got the same DNA inside her mom and dad, but she also has a brain. And the way we've been created and designed, we have brains, we can make our own decisions. You choose every single day whether or not you want to be successful or whether or not you want to be a failure. And it starts with the small things. Hey, what's up? I hope you enjoyed today's video, and check this out. You gotta subscribe because I've got so many more videos in store for you. And when they come out, I want them to come directly to you. So click subscribe and let's keep building together.